Hello, everyone. I am Noelle with Noelle Rollins Art. I wanted to give you update number 4 on what I am doing behind the scenes to make my big goals and dreams happen. So I am going to talk about today how I am sort of aligning my life with those goals. And I've also had a few big shifts that have happened that I want to share with you. So I am someone who's had a lot of big goals and dreams come true in their life. I work hard at that, and I feel like I have some good ways that I do that, which there's another video coming soon actually all about in detail how to align your life with your goals and make them happen. It's going to be a good one, so keep your eye out for that. I am going to college right now. I am running my business. I'm working on some big goals for traveling. We actually just got back from a couple weeks in Japan. As a family, we were able to go out there and all 4 of us spend some time together, both the kids. It was so special. We loved Japan. The people, the culture, the food, just the beautiful way in which they honor, like when they give you back your change, there's just such a presentation with it. It's placed in a dish and they hand it to you. Like there's this beautiful ceremonious way to their culture that was so magical that I want to take parts of that with me back into my own life. We got to see some very moving things. We got to see Hiroshima in that area, spend some time in Osaka, and go to the World Expo, where we got to see things from all over the world represented, which was so amazing. We got to just try different food. We had some delicious Turkish food and had a great time talking with the owners from Turkey there, and some really good Italian food. A lot of onigiri, delicious. Yeah, it was amazing. One of the things that happened while we were there was I had this epiphany, sort of change in my approach come up, where my goals are still the same other than one, and that's with travel. And maybe there's something to do with being in a foreign place and experiencing it while imagining. Now let's imagine if I'm here and I'm here for a month or 2 months or 3 months as part of a bigger full-time travel picture. I would still love that. It still is on my list. However, there's also reality that comes with, I feel like a little bit of my goals in trying to make that happen on the timeline that I'm trying to make that happen feels like it could be unnecessarily reckless, or maybe blowing up some areas of life that don't have to be in order to achieve that quick. So what instead I'm doing, and I feel really good about, is I am holding true in aligning with the process of it. What I can control is the process. I can control how I show up. I can control how I align my life with that goal. And then I've just opened myself up to how that needs to look in our life. We will know when it happens. When we are ready, we can then decide, is it full-time travel that we're looking for? Is it just getting away from the winters? Maybe it's a month here, a month there, and just surrendering to the highest, best way that can serve us, instead of forcing what my view of that and what I think it needs to look like will look like. So that has been a big shift. So as far as the travel goals, we're still posting stuff for sale. We're decluttering. We are simplifying life. I am still learning languages and practicing that. Another big part of that is just saving up as much as we can. So that's what we're doing. Yeah. Part of that also is me graduating college. So I'm doing an aggressive summer schedule. I just finished an intense 3-week summer course online that was so amazing. It was intercultural communications. And let me tell you, there's nothing like sitting in Tokyo doing intercultural communications schoolwork and having that be so relevant in that moment of verbal and nonverbal cultural differences, how to honor other people's cultures, how to honor your own culture, how to recognize cultures. And it's not just geographical cultures, but ages, different ways of being, I feel like I bridge different cultures in my day to day all the time. And just learning how to honor that, having one child who homeschooled, one child who public schooled. There's some different cultural things that go with those, and the verbiage and the ideals and the way people talk about them. Being an artist and working from home, I feel like I've always had one foot in the stay-at-home mom category, one foot at the business category, working parent category, seeing both sides of that. There's, a million other, but you get the idea. It's so relevant to our lives in learning how to recognize that and how we honor the different things we're a part of and how we see them and how we see that in others and can honor that, or we judge them for that, or we unnecessarily maybe expect them to act in a certain way because of that. So anyways, that has been a really good experience. College in general, I am so grateful for the opportunity to get to continue my learning in this way. I just feel really lucky that I can take this time and resources to do this. A little bit, it's felt like there's a lot of new things I've learned, but there's also a lot of validating things that after a few decades on this planet, you start to kind of pick up on some things. And maybe you viscerally know them, but you don't really know the way that they're in order. So like learning about certain things has helped me put them in categories and have a system to them. And maybe then it's filled in a few of the gaps. And it's given me verbiage to use for that feeling or that thing that I already knew about. That's what college has done for me so far. It's just broadened my knowledge base. And it has validated some things. And it's taught me that I was a little nervous. Like, can I write papers still? Can I, do the math stuff? But I've made it through my Japanese course and my math class and my writing classes and my art classes and marketing classes. And I'm doing it. And as silly as that sounds, it feels good. I have run my own business for almost my whole adult life. And so the validation I get comes from myself. And so sometimes it does feel good to kind of have a system where I can see, on a grade level, I'm getting this grade. I can show up and know, and there's a system to it and there's a completion to it. And right now in my life, that feels really good. I was so inspired watching my daughter walk across the stage a few years ago. And I saw this window where there's 10 years difference between my kids. And I knew that if I wanted to go to school, now was the time I needed to between them. So that's been really fun. And just, they're both really proud of me. The other area that the changes have been happening in are my business. I actually kind of cleared out a few more areas of my business recently. I sold off a bunch of my blank canvases, my larger ones. I sold my colored pencil kits, my pastel kits. I probably will want to do that stuff again at some point. But right now I don't have the time or the maybe choosing to have the energy for those specific mediums. And even though I love them, there is a freeing in just clarity that's coming from being very decisive about it and deciding where my focus is going to be. As a creative person, I could very easily keep up with 50 different types of creative activities. And I don't want to have a house full of supplies. Crafters know this, musicians know this, all sorts of, different hobbies know this. There is a freedom that comes from, I kept my pencil kits, my charcoal, and my acrylic paints. For the most part, that's about it. I can't think of any others right now. So that is how I will express my creativity. And then digital painting. I can do some digital work right now if I need to. So I've been having fun with Procreate and some different things too. So that's where I'm at right now, friends. I am feeling more inspired than ever. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel for the college stuff. I have been reworking my website, giving that some love recently. I'm going to continue to do that all summer. I have a couple cremation urns in the basement I'm painting right now in my studio down there that have been ordered by different clients. I'm just really enjoying this time. I'm making the most of summer between the in-person classes and diving deep into making life more aligned with these goals that I have. So for the most part, we are right on track to where we want to be. We're just trying to save the money. So that gives us choices and makes all the other things possible, continuing with the learning. I have a couple more courses this summer, and then it looks like I will graduate in the spring, which will be 30 years after I graduated high school. So kind of fun that ended up being working out that way. So also on my website, I have created a free ebook that I would love for you to check out. I will put the link in the description, or you can find it at noelrollinsart.com. And there's a free gifts section on the menu there. And it is an ebook called Creativity as a Tool of Resistance. And what that means is, in a world and society right now where we just have noise pouring at us from all angles, how to just kind of do this and instead tune into your creativity and just get in that flow. I have a few exercises you can do there. And what being in the creative flow means is you start to see solutions where maybe you only saw problems before. Solutions come easier to you. When options are presented to you, whether it's politically or in your workplace, family or friends, and they're trying to tell you there's only option A or option B, your creativity is flowing through you in a way where you start to see things differently. You can see that there actually is an option C. They just haven't thought of it. Or maybe even an option D. And it allows you to look at things and create in a new way. It allows you to parent better, find new solutions to work situations. And it's not just for creative people. I think we're all creative, but for people that consider themselves more analytical, or maybe they work more in tech fields, there is power in tapping into that creative flow. You will have more ideas come to you. You see problems differently, and it allows you to tackle those things more effectively. So I encourage you to check that out. I'm also going to have a video coming up that's all about tuning in. I know I mentioned this. It's all about just really aligning your life with your goals to make them happen. So we're going to get way more in depth on that, and I hope you'll join me for that one. All right. I wish you well. Thanks for joining me here.